Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ando, and we've got another GAC recap. We're still in Kyber 1 with a 4103 skill rating, and we won last round, so a lot of times I can't record during the week, but weekend shows up, and yeah, we're able to do it. So the strawberry eggs, he was in my shard. Well, he technically still is in my shard. I just am not in my shard chat anymore because, let's be honest, being in a shard chat is not that cool anymore. But yeah, so he does have a few datacrons. I think we're at this point we're fighting for like one, or maybe it's like top 200. I don't remember. It's something like that. So let's go check out his defenses. So I was pretty impressed, honestly. So the top two squads are, pretty mediocre, but when you consider, DR and gas, especially when you consider what this bottom wall is, which is 4 GLs, I was a little bit shocked. I don't do any scouting anymore. Just don't really have time for it, and as much as I need crystals, I don't need them that bad. So I don't have a JMK counter. There's like 2 counters to JMK, and then I guess there's the 2-shot method. So sorry if you can hear my son in the background, who's I think crying. But like I said, I'm still in an apartment. That's why you guys don't even get to see my face or anything, or why I'm not streaming. So we want to put tank tech here on armor because of that. Mace Windu gets called to assist here, and because of that, he can land an ability block. Now, I don't know if we resisted or if he just doesn't have any potency on his, but yeah. So this is kind of what happens in most setups, right? This order of events, I guess, if you will. Now, I've only got 2 stacks. You ideally want to have 3 stacks, which is why a lot of times Thrawn is used in this counter. Now, I don't have Thrawn because Thrawn is on defense, which is why I'm using Watt. So, long story short is I decided to go for the 2 stacks of Beskar. And I'm glad I did. Now, I think I could have made it. I don't remember. We'll see. But the last thing you want is to not get anything on. I would rather take the 15% health increase on my C than not have it at all. So here they go. Now they're all in on C. And yeah, I would have never gotten it if I'd went for it. So eventually someday I'll have probably a relic 5 armor, but today is not that day. And so yeah, deciding to, so this is where they usually start killing C because of them being able to attack outside of taunt, and because of them attacking underneath the protection. So I think last round I survived with 2. I think Sunfax survived. I don't think this one is. This one's just as ugly as it can get. And but yeah, so the heal tech there, and you wait for Kenobi to do that healing immunity move on you, so that way you can move twice to get it taken off of you. And I pick Kenobi. Ideally, I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss, I guess. Ahsoka's getting called often, but really the big thing is that I want to get JMK's protection down to nothing, because GLs are really, really easy to kill when they have no protection, which is why this his high ground and hitting underneath protection is basically the same thing, right? They're just acting like I don't have protection. But yeah, they're really easy to kill, or a lot easier, I should say, to kill when they don't have protection. And so Kenobi's protection is gone at this point. It's just that bonus protection. But yeah, I just want to give the link so that we get rid of Ahsoka. And unfortunately, it looks like we're also going to lose the health banner here. but because it's our first round attack, it's a 62. But it would have been a 52, right? All right. So he plays SLKR with a single tank, and anytime that anyone places SLKR with a single tank, it is just an absolute gift. It is way easier to play than the double tank variant. So unless you have a great reason of why you're keeping SLK or crew, highly suggest you place him in. Okay, so yeah, you do the stun, and then you just go all in on first order stormtrooper. And normally this is where things get a little bit different because you've got a second tank here. We don't have that, so now we can just go all in on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And at this point, because he's so ability blocked and just dead, basically. Oh, Sith Trooper didn't have ability block or anything on him, so I decided to just go ahead and stun him. Because I don't want him cleansing. And there it is. Crew, or SLKR is dead because there is no crew. There's Red Trooper, and at this point, yeah, JKL's just going to basically one-shot all these guys. So, yeah, moral of the story is, unless you just have a really good reason, and I don't know, this guy might have had, he might have had like first order. What is it? Is it just the TIE pilot? I think it's the TIE pilot Omicron. So maybe he was trying to use it there. I don't know though. But yeah, 65. That's you never want your GL to go down for 65 in a non-GL counter. So I wrestled with this for a really long time. He didn't have a super potent JML. It is R9 though. He didn't protection load it. So, and it was faster than my JML. So I thought, yeah, you know, if he E-fluxes first and does ability block like half of my guys, it would not be fun. Let's just try. And I gave these guys a little bit of a tenacity datacron. And I think one of the mistakes that I do here is that I don't heal up B2. He should be, he's kind of what keeps this counter going. Like, although yes, IG 100 is great. Yeah, it is actually B2 that keeps this going. So it actually starts out really well, or it looks like it's gonna do actually quite a bit of work. Now Zeris right there, she's a problem. But even after, like, I think if I kept B2 here, I think I would have won this overall. So learning point for me. Also, the other thing is that he is relic 3 for me, right? So I just don't have many relics to spare at this point. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't have too many. But yeah, just to be able to get the turn meter from B2 and to be able to mow down often, and then feed the turn meter to everyone else at this point. Now, like I said, this actually looks pretty solid. Like, I actually thought that, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll get this. I think if I kept B2, this would have been a win. Zeris is down pretty low right now. Now, she gets the heal there from Shakti, but, I mean, just look at this. JML almost down as well. Now Jolie will be a problem because, again, you can just revive. And then the heal comes in, right? And so this is where things start going downhill. And yeah, they're just going to start spamming the leadership special. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we can get Jolie Bindo down. And again, get really close. Get really, really close. And I wish if Jolie had somehow gotten extortion on him earlier, we would have gotten him, but he didn't have it, because we could have called to assist. But there it goes, Jolie just getting called in. So I decide right here, right, and let's just not get GMY back. Let's just time it out so you guys don't need to watch 2 minutes of that. So I timed it out, and then I just went in with JML again, not being outsped, and ability blocked meant that, like, I could just kind of go in and do an easy win. So where does that leave us? I wasn't planning on using first order in this regard, but and I almost used Grievous here. I have actually won Grievous versus a full non-TM loaded Ray. The big issue here was he actually has a pretty fast resistance hero Finn. If the Finn is pretty slow, like as in 300 speed or lower, but once they start getting into that 330, it starts to I don't think work as well. And so and I brought out Crew because I figured, hey, if I need him in a lead, right? That's all the tank is really here for. He does he gets one shot. And this always feels like a match where you're like, oh wow, all right, we might actually get multiple people here. We might not get the, I think now it's a 52 or whatever. No, you always get the 52. Sorry to say, everyone, but yeah, it doesn't work. Maybe, and I was thinking about this, and I don't know if this is true or not. I don't think so. I think it still does count it as damage. When SLKR goes into his ult form, he doesn't take damage, but I still do believe that Ray's ult is spread out between. So yeah, I was thinking, all right, so let's get the extra crits here, so that way we can boost to 3 turns just to be safe. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, I think this still spreads out. Yeah, because that's only that's about what, 260, I think. So yeah, it definitely still counts him as a third party. Just doesn't give him the damage, so it doesn't matter, I guess. So we open up his back wall, and it's pretty much nothing. So either he doesn't plan on too many people clearing his back wall or his front wall with the 4 GLs, or he does and he kind of cheeses it a little bit. So again, speaking from like a defensive perspective, if there was like another GL back there, this becomes a lot harder. So I did bounty hunters against that Sith Empire team. It was a 62. I lost Aura, but I just figured no need to show that. It wasn't anything spectacular or anything. And so yeah, General Skywalker, Relic 8 and a Relic 7 5s. I like to just go in on General Sky Guy, because you can just pretty much get him down without anyone really taking a turn other than 5s. And yeah, do the shrug here, go ahead and get the kill, and then we soften up the rest of the targets with an AoE, and then hopefully we can machine gun them down. And we did. And at this point, we're just going to do a basic for the exposed damage, but also it just was over. So 60 there. My banners for against 501st have actually been a little bit lower than normal lately. This is an Imps team versus Bam. If you don't put in Nest or something that would make me worried, I guess, on this, then yeah, like this is a very easy counter. I did the basic here because I didn't think I needed the TM. Honestly, probably could have used the TM. Yeah, so normally I do a basic here because again, we would get the turn from Dark Trooper. He gives out 40% turn meter. It looks like we're close, so I just decide to go all in. And yeah, there it is. So we got the kill. All right, here's the turn meter, and then let's go ahead and mass assist again on Bam, and he's dead now. And now it just turns into the Dark Trooper show. And like I was telling you guys last video, like he is a guy that I'm looking to bring to R8 again. Again, once I get the materials. Yeah, it just seems to be the problem, right? And so yeah, easy win, 65 against Bam. Pretty sweet. Take it. All right, Dash is pretty sweet. This is definitely a weaker one, so I thought about trying something different, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go with this. Don't want to drop a battle at this point because in my head, I've done a pretty decent job at clearing 4 GLs, and then like 2 A to B plus squads in Gas 501st and Sith Empire. So like the last thing I want to do really is drop a battle, because I really want to put the pressure on. My opponent should be feeling a lot of pressure at this point. I mean, I've cleared 4 GLs with, and which means he's got 2. And so again, it's just about now trying to remain somewhat clean. And it doesn't matter about banners so much so as it matters about just getting through. That's my biggest worry at this point, is just getting through, and it ships because I know what the ground is at this point. And so yeah, I just want to make sure that I full clear. If I full clear, I'm not guaranteeing a win, but I felt very confident in a win. So yeah, put the days on veteran smuggler Chewbacca, so that way when I killed Vet Han, there's no issues. Again, just if I can save banners, then great, but I'm not, you know, going all out on it, which is why I killed the AoE first. I think you just keep hearing my son, which is funny. Yeah. So all that's left is a Gear 12 Gam Guard. I'm not sure why he put him in here. I don't know if it's like a meme, or if there's actually some weird reason, or if he's running out of characters, or like I said, I just don't know. I didn't take a look at his scoundrels or whatever, so maybe he used up all of them, or he has a plan for all of them on his offense. So yeah, definitely not the best Dash team, but my score pretty much remained the same. So if you can force your opponent into that. So he gave me the double get 2 plus Empire, which means he's bringing Executor on offense. Okay, so again, full clearing is like my main goal here. Doesn't really matter banner wise, I just really want to full clear. So again, this isn't the, like, there's nothing here that super worries me. Although I am starting to get kind of down into what I would consider like my not tuned teams. So I don't want them to get rid of burning, because that means they would gain TM. So I killed Talia first because she's got a cleanse, right? So yeah, really at this point, just want to try to keep burning on Daka. Hopefully this double hits, but it double hits and it hits zombie, which is pretty much worthless. And the bad thing, I guess, about Django lead, I went a little bit, like I almost thought about doing Fennec lead, but ultimately I just went with this. But yeah, there's no real protection recovery. Now, I guess if I had Boba's Zeta, that would have been a 63, I guess. Okay, so I knew again that this wasn't gonna be a super clean battle because there's a ton of buffs given, a ton of debuffs given, and they just cleanse. But I was hoping to kind of get a train rolling before they cleansed. Didn't really happen that way, and so ultimately what I want to kill is Nihilus first. I would love to kill Talon, but you know, she's under stealth. So we do the double assist here, And I was like, oh, great. Talon might die. Except for, again, debuffs and them hitting debuffs. They just re-heal a lot. And so, and then taunt, right? I can't get around it unless I have one move from Hunter. So single point damage here. I'm like, let's kill Talon. But it didn't even get close. So, yeah. This will allow, well, I guess once we get around the taunt, this will allow me though. Okay, so this move will allow me to get around the taunt and kill Talon. So that way, Traya doesn't revive, and I actually just killed Sion as well. So yeah, at this point, yeah, we're just looking at trying to somewhat save on banners, but it's really hard with this team and all of its mechanics against the Traya lead, right? Like, I probably could have just did a basic there and maybe saved one protection, I guess. But again, I'm not so worried about banner pinching here. And this was really what I thought, like, this was the best team that I thought I had. Now, Dooku has tenacity down with healing immunity. Crew and friends really hate healing immunity. And so I knew that this was a risk. I do have Inquisitors, but my Grand Inquisitor is like gear 7, I think, at lock-in. So I thought if I could just get a big enough turn meter train going with crits, and I can't use that taunt, but I realized what Droidica is doing, so that's why you see me contemplating. And I can't AoE again because, you know, Dooku is a thing. And now I'm realizing that for sure someone is going to get toasted. And yeah. And I don't have, this isn't an Omicron. Like, I don't have that Omicron. And of course, Django now is doing Django things. It's just not going well. Not loving it. I want to save that in case, because it's a good heal for your actual health protection. And so, yeah. Now he's going to dodge everything because he's... There we go. All right, we brought him out. All right, cool. So I was like, hey, we might actually pull this out. So let's stun Dooku so we can hit him without him countering. But then, of course, Django is like just the biggest pain in all these Separatist teams. And now he's unstunned. So kind of got to go after someone else, aka Django, and wait for the stun to happen again. And now the heal immunity happens with the tenacity down. Double taps everywhere. Okay, so stun. Maybe we can get something going again. No, Django says no thank you. Can't heal because we got healing immunity. Can't hit Dooku because we don't want to get countered and get stunned and ability blocked. And it just keeps happening, right? So yeah, Django's just gonna kill us. So cool. 3 banners. The one squad I went through. Okay, I guess I did double tap JML, but I guess beyond that, again, can't bring in Wampa because tenacity down and ability blocks and healing immunities. So I decided, okay, so I guess, yeah, I do have a gear 7. And I decided to bring out 8 brother and bring in 7 sister because of the heal. So we can get rid of tenacity down if it happens. I don't know if this would have worked. I really don't. What I can say right now is just by looking at Grand Inquisitor, my biggest fear was that Django was just going to basically find Grand Inquisitor and just kill him. Which wouldn't have been like, I guess, the worst thing. It just, I didn't want like me to work on Django. This happens all the time, right? You work on Django, you kill him once, and then he kills someone, and then he gets his retribution back, or bounty hunter's resolve, or whatever it's called. And so yeah. But if you look at Grand Inquisitor, and it's because his lead is, it makes him really, really tanky, more tankier than they are already, which is especially Ninth Sister, is extremely tanky. So 5 stacks of Purge equals a stun. That's what I want. Oh, excuse me. And so yeah, I don't know if this would have worked though. It does make me have a little bit more faith in my Inquisitors. I don't know. We'll see how I try him out. And I am gearing him actively. He's like my 1 gear guy right now. That I'm just using all my get to and stuff to gear him up. So hopefully I will have him gear 13 by the next lock-in. We'll see though. And now that he's out of damage immunity, I can use that move that removes turn meter. I just didn't want to do it when he was in damage immunity because obviously we're not making any progress there. But yeah. So yeah, the 1 ground team that I really wasn't too worried about until the end when I realized, hey, I don't have too much left. Yeah, we 2-shot that. So like I said, we did 2-shot the JML. We got really low banners on Ray, but I'm not going to show the ships because it really does take out like 20 minutes of time, and so we're under 30 minutes with this video, which is great for me and great for you guys too. So that was our final score, guys. We are moving on to the finals. He couldn't full clear me, and so thanks again so much for watching the video. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.